Today, we're talking about something that might be secretly sabotaging your hormones. We do it every 8 minutes. It's not your diet or your never-ending to-do list or even that glass of wine you pretend is just for resveratrol. It's your screen, or more specifically, the scroll. Because while social media might seem harmless and may even be helpful depending upon who you follow, it could also be raising your cortisol, tanking your progesterone, and sending your sleep, mood, and weight into a free fall. In today's episode, I'm peeling back the curtain on how social media could be hijacking your hormones and what you can do to stop the spiral without going completely off the grid. So grab a quick potty break and put those notifications on your phone on silent, and I'll be back to break it all down in less than 90 seconds. Welcome to Are You There, Midlife? It's me, Monica. Hi, I'm Monica Topetti, wife, mom, health coach, and hormone imbalance survivor. And I'm on a mission to help women in midlife balance hormones naturally without drugs, doctors, or divorce. Are you tired of dealing with heavy, painful periods that look like a crime scene? Are you sick of struggling with anxiety, fatigue, or brain fog that... What was I just saying? Are you frustrated doing all the things to lose weight but still packing on pounds faster than a real housewife changes Birkins? Girl, you are in the right place. Join me each week as I spill the tea on what to expect in perimenopause and beyond. From IBS to insomnia, bloating to funky body odor, I'll unpack all the weird stuff happening inside our midlife bodies, plus give you the latest science and holistic solutions to manage it all. So ditch the Spanx and hop on board the Hot Mess Express. Let's do this. Hey, beautiful. Welcome back to the show. Okay, so did you know the average woman between 35 and 55 spends about 2 hours a day or more on social media? That means apps like Instagram and TikTok are claiming about 13% of our waking life. Now, if you don't think that sounds like a lot, that's actually more time than we spend per day cooking and cleaning, driving, or talking with our significant other. And here's the thing. Social media isn't just a big time suck because it's messing with our hormone balance in ways we don't even realize. So while those hours of cute critter videos may feel like a harmless escape, they're actually hijacking your hormones that are already hanging on by a thread. So what's really happening here and how can we course correct? Let's get into it. First off, your feed might be raising your cortisol. Now, we tend to think of social media as entertainment, maybe even stress relief. But physiologically, it is a constant low-level stressor that triggers cortisol, fuels nervous system dysregulation, and depletes progesterone, which we're already low in, by the way. Now, platforms like Instagram and TikTok are designed, lots and lots of money go into the design to trigger dopamine. That's our brain's reward chemical. But what happens when our body doesn't get the reward it was expecting? Like likes, or comments, or plays, or validation, or something that just makes you feel good. Cue the cortisol, our stress hormone. And she doesn't play. Cortisol is the hormone that tells our body it's under threat. Even if the threat is watching a no excuses leg day reel while you're still in yesterday's bra. According to a 2022 study from Dartmouth, these dopamine feedback loops, especially when disrupted by disappointment or even overstimulation, can activate our brain's stress response. And once cortisol spikes, it doesn't just vanish when you close the app, which is especially harmful if you're in perimenopause or menopause because our stress response is already operating on a hair trigger. And to make matters worse, our elevated cortisol can then suppress our progesterone, which worsens symptoms like anxiety, insomnia, and even can lead to stubborn weight gain. Bottom line, it's not just the algorithm making us feel edgy, it's biology. Your feed can also be dysregulating your nervous system. So now that we've established how social media can spike our cortisol like a nitro cold brew on an empty stomach, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Because this isn't just about stress. It's about how that stress is quietly dysregulating our nervous system and the impact that has on the rest of our hormones. So what's the science happening behind the scroll? Our nervous system, specifically our HPA axis, that's our hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, and it's the command center for our stress response. When our brain perceives a threat, yes, even that filtered vacation pic that makes us feel behind in life, our HPA axis kicks into gear, sending our entire nervous system into overdrive. In an instant, we go from regulated to reactive, whether that threat is real or just algorithmically engineered. And when our nervous system gets stuck there for too long, it starts to short circuit the rest of our hormonal system, impacting everything from ovulation to mood to metabolism. How does it happen exactly? Well, first, a dysregulated HPA axis can throw off the delicate balance of estrogen to progesterone. And this can lead to hormonal imbalances like excess estrogen, progesterone deficiency, or even estrogen dominance. It can also suppress our thyroid function, and that can lead to symptoms of an underactive thyroid like fatigue, weight gain, and a slow metabolism. It can also disrupt our blood sugar and insulin regulation, which can spike cravings, increase belly fat, and make us feel like we're living in a constant state of hangry. Left unchecked, this kind of nervous system overload can become the silent driver of our most frustrating symptoms. Number 3, your feed might be blocking your melatonin. That last scroll before bed, well, it's not just stealing our peace, it's stealing our melatonin. And that can have a huge ripple effect on our hunger cues, our fat storage, and how soundly we sleep. Or not. That's because melatonin is a hormone, and it regulates our body's internal clock and signals to our brain when it's time to sleep. This is especially crucial for women in midlife because we need solid, restorative sleep in order to balance our hormones. According to a 2023 survey by Sleep Doctor, nearly 75% of adults report using social media just before bed. And while we may think it's helping us wind down from our day, it's actually doing the opposite. Because when we're scrolling right before bed or late at night, the blue light from our phones can suppress our melatonin by up to 38%, disrupting our circadian rhythm and sleep cycles. Circadian rhythm is our body's internal 24-hour clock. And basically it tells us when to wake, when to sleep, and even when to produce certain hormones. But blue light exposure confuses this rhythm. So instead of winding down, we're actually lighting up our brain like a slot machine. And when melatonin's out of sync, so is everything else. Poor sleep ramps up our ghrelin, which is our hunger hormone. It dials down our leptin, which is our fullness or satiety hormone, and throws off our blood sugar regulation and inflammation. It's like a vicious cycle that starts with just 5 more minutes and ends with wondering why your pants won't fit. Number 4, your feed might be feeding your addiction to information. A 4th way social media may be hijacking your hormones is the way that it fuels your need for more and more and more information. Now, who among us have not saved 37 reels about balancing your hormones and then watched 2 hours of cute dog shorts instead? It starts with good intentions. You're looking for answers, trying to connect the dots, hoping the next swipe will be the next thing that finally makes sense of your symptoms. But instead of finding clarity, you're drowning in conflicting advice. One-size-fits-all cures and a scroll-induced hormonal breakdown. Because when you're absorbing information from dozens of different influencers, coaches, doctors, and wellness experts, it's hard to know who to trust, what to try first, and what will actually work for you. It's like trying to crowdsource your hormone balance. And instead of making progress, you end up stuck in analysis paralysis. More information isn't always the solution. Sometimes it's actually the problem. So if you're sitting on 42 saved reels, a feed full of perimenopause memes, and zero clarity on what's actually going on in your body, it might be time to pause the scrolling and take a more targeted approach. My hormone symptom profile assessment helps you do exactly that. It's totally free, and it's designed to help you connect the dots between your symptoms and the most likely hormone imbalance driving them. Because you don't need more advice, you need direction. And this assessment is all about getting a place to start. You can take it at bit.ly/take my hormone quiz, or just click the link in today's show notes. So, what is the solution? Well, I've got a couple of options. The first one is a little extreme. It's all about taking a break from social media. I personally decided to take a break from all things Meta indefinitely about a year ago, and I haven't looked back. I'll occasionally post something for fun in my feed. Recently, my daughter, Madeline, and her fiance, Michael, fed a prompt into ChatGPT and made some AI action figures of everyone in our family. So if you want to see my health coach doll, go ahead and check it out in Facebook or Instagram. Or if I'm speaking somewhere or I was recently interviewed on a podcast, sometimes I'll post that too. Or if I'm looking for a local handyman or a service provider. Like last year when my air conditioner pooped out on the 4th of July when it was like 105 degrees outside. Yeah, I'll post a question in a Facebook group or something like that. But that's it. I'm not really active, and I no longer share on social because actually I'm a little bit more private in my personal life, except for this podcast, of course. And posting just feels performative to me. At first, being offline felt a little weird, but now I honestly don't miss it. And I've gotten so much time back. The second option is to do a digital reset. You don't have to go and do a full digital detox or, completely leave social if you don't want to in order to rebalance your hormones. You just need to make a shift from mindless consumption to intentional interaction. By setting boundaries, curating content, and creating intention that supports your healing rather than hijacks it. So what does setting boundaries look like? Well, there's actually a lot of things you can do, like using a timer or an app that limits your time on social media. You can set a daily no scroll deadline, like no phone after 9 p.m. Bonus tip: try and move your charger out of your bedroom so you won't be tempted to look at your phone. Or you can buy an old school alarm clock. Remember those? Before we had phones? Or even set an alarm on your Apple Watch or Fitbit to wake you up in the morning rather than using your cell. Next, you can create an intentionally hormone-friendly feed. You can do this by unfollowing any account that triggers comparison or adds to your stress. So what you can do is you can go through every account you follow, maybe a few a day, and ask yourself, does this content calm me, inspire me, or motivate me? Or is it draining, overwhelming, or making me feel less than? Go ahead and Marie Kondo the heck out of your feed. And if it doesn't spark joy, unfollow. Lastly, set an intention and monitor the results. Grab a journal, notepad, or even your notes app on your phone and track how you feel before, during, and after scrolling, just for a week. Take note of your sleeping patterns, as well as your stress levels, energy, hunger, and mood. Then try a full day or more without any social media and track those same symptoms. If you notice a significant difference, that's data, and that's your body asking for change. Look, I'm not telling you to throw your phone into a lake, but your feed should not be making your hormone imbalance worse. If social media has been stressing you out more than serving you lately, I totally get it. That's exactly why I've taken what I like to call a sabbatical from social media, and why most of what I used to share there, I now share exclusively with my email subscribers. Things like my favorite supplements or hormone supporting products, my favorite grab-and-go snacks and meal ideas, and even some midlife exercise and lifestyle tips. Plus, each week I share beyond the pod insights I don't post anywhere else, along with a link to my latest episode. So if you want to get access to all of my best stuff for free, go to areyoutheremidlife.com to subscribe or click the link in today's show notes. You'll laugh, you'll learn, you might even sleep better, because I'm not here to add to your information overload. I'm here to help you cut through it and actually start healing. Then join me back here next week when I'll unpack Ask AI Anything Except This: what ChatGPT won't tell you about hormones in perimenopause and menopause. Until then, sending you out into the world wishing you health, happiness, and fewer hot flashes. Hey friend, can I call you friend? Because I already feel like we're friends in my head. Did this podcast teach you something, make you laugh, or feel less like an alien? If so, I would be so incredibly grateful if you could take just 60 seconds to rate, review, and subscribe. That is the number one way you can thank me and support the show. Until next week, stay cool and keep away from sharp objects.